Welcome to Mastermind Gameplay. Today, we're going to take it pretty simple. We're just looking at the Wonky Vader, and we're going to try to program it to get up there in space to our space station. First off, we need to access its controls. Now, if you go to remote access, it doesn't quite show up the way we want it to because it's currently connected to our master grid. So if we go to the Wonky connector here, scroll down and unlock, you'll find that we'll be able to see it again on a remote screen. It teeters back and forth here, and we do have some basic controls in which to control this to an extent, such as turning on these thrusters. Now if we go back to here, we have full control, but not remote operation of it. On the AI recorder task, make sure your AI behavior is off before you start changing anything. And AI behavior is off for your flight move. Precision mode is on, collision avoidance is off. For the speed limit, we'll leave it at 100 ms for now because we're simply going to manually control this. Make sure that you don't have any current waypoints already established. If you do, just hit this delete all waypoints and it'll remove them. Later on, I'll show you how this reverse order button comes in handy. Show path on HUD, show selected path, and show AI functions on your info tab. This should allow you to see as you make these points. And then you have the record button. So this will record a waypoint, but instead of doing it manually through that screen, I have set it up where we have a quick key over here on number 4. So when we hit this button, or the number 4 key, it'll create a waypoint automatically. Okay, so to get started, all we need to do is kind of lift off a bit. If you didn't see, I put a waypoint right at the connector, and I'm going to estimate approximately 1 meter to 1.5 meters above it and do another waypoint. It's very good to put multiple waypoints as you get closer to your target, so your vessel actually slows down before it hits it. So here's another one. Then that might be enough to slow us down so we don't smash into anything. So let's head to space. Okay, so along the way I put a waypoint at every 10,000 meters in order to ensure our line doesn't go awry. Now that we're in space though, we'll go ahead and review the ones that we created. AI recorder task. And if you scroll down, you can see the multiple waypoints. The first 3 are just going to be the ones right off the platform. And then waypoint 4 through 7 are the ones we did at every 10,000 meters. Our overall goal here is to reach that space station we have about 2.94 kilometers away. So for this, we're just going to have to line up with it. And once you're lined up, we're just going to cruise towards it. And on the way, we're going to put a few more waypoints. Preferably at approximately 1,000 meters and maybe another one at 500 or so meters. It's really up to you as long as you slow your vessel down fast enough before you slam into it. And from here, it looks like we're kind of on the top side of it, so we'll have to maneuver around it. You might want to take the option of rotating your space station, but if not, you can always set up more waypoints to maneuver. What I do is I try to get as far away from it and be still fairly lined up with the entrance. Then I'll hit my next waypoint. And we'll adjust until we're pretty much in line with that opening again. I think if I just rotate here. If you rotate your vessel, it will rotate when AI is operating as well. There, that should do it. And then we'll rotate one more time and try to line ourselves back up with this entrance. Just a little to the left. Before the entrance, you might want to add an additional waypoint like this. And then when we get all the way through it, we'll add an additional waypoint before we rotate. It's important to add the additional before you rotate if you're going to stop somewhere. Otherwise, your vessel could try to rotate and still move at the same time and run right into your other ship. Just like we were on the Earth-based platform, I'm going to try to line up approximately 1 to 1.5 meters above where we want to connect. That should be pretty close there. And then as we get on top of the connector, it should center us regardless, just because of the magnetic field. Then from here is your final waypoint. Overall, pretty simple, and we can go back to the recorder to check how many waypoints it is and make sure they were all placed correctly. 1 through 3 again is from our platform. 4 through 7 is going to be every 10,000 meters. And then the rest of them, which seems like quite a bit, 8 through 16, are maneuver nodes basically on getting into the ship. You could also sync it with that beacon. But then again, if you do that, your radar goes out of distance, it won't do you any good. So remember, you need to select a starting waypoint. We'll select waypoint 16 because that's the last one we ended at. If you want to go back to Earth, all you do is after you've selected the waypoint, make sure that your minimum distance, record interval are still correct. And then we go to flight move. As soon as you turn on the AI behavior for this, it will begin to start moving. Let's turn our speed back down because we are currently in the ship, so I'll put it at about 10. Earlier, I had adjusted the pitch and roll angles to 15 because this thing is a bit top heavy. Precision mode is on. Collision avoidance is off. AI behavior, we just click it on. No movement yet. So, all we need to do now is go to the AI recorder task. And as soon as we hit this reverse order button down here, it should start moving. This is going to take us all the way back to waypoint 1. As you can see, you don't necessarily need the AI on the recorder, but I do it just for the heck of it. Our ship rotated as we had designated. Now it's trying to line up with the next maneuver node. If you go to your AI flight move, you can actually see where it's moving to. In this case, it's waypoint 10, because we've already cleared some of the other waypoints needed to get into the space shuttle. Let's go ahead and crank this speed up so it doesn't take us forever to get back to our home base. And there you have it. I know I fast forwarded through it, but it takes quite a while to get here. Now this is completely automated. No controls are being operated by me at all. And it comes and touched down almost perfectly on our original connector. Now, if you go to remote access, we'll have to remote access just to do a little tweaking because I don't think it's completely on top of that connector. No. It's pretty close, but not perfect. So if we maneuver just slightly in one direction or another... Oh, forgot. If you don't turn off your AI, you won't be able to move anywhere. So make sure that you turn off the AI on the AI flight move and your AI recorder. Then we'll be able to move this again. There you go. And I just gently touch it down until essentially the connector is able to connect. Afterwards, I turn off the thrusters. On this ship, there are different options and it will be loaded in the Steam workshop. It's a very simple design, but there are a lot of timer blocks and event controllers in here also for your convenience, along with this handy dandy button to open and close the door. Well, that's about it. Thanks for your time watching, and if you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comments section. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I appreciate it. See you next time.